just more and more smoke, leading to the fire that is Keegan Bradley being on this team as a player.
Yeah, I think we're all expecting it at this point. And, Keegan, he knows he can't play poorly in the playoffs. Like, he knows he needs to keep momentum going. And if he continues to play well, he's going to be on this team.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Christopher Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies is one of 3 Major League Baseball pitchers to have a 7-start span featuring an undefeated record, a sub-1.5 ERA, 50 or more innings pitched, 50 or more strikeouts, fewer than 5 walks, no more than 1 home run allowed.
Fantasy sports today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
One big problem for NBC, too many on-air cooks for the coverage, particularly on the weekends. Having 4 on-air teams separate time, divide the time, was really outrageous. You had Mike Tirico and his partner. You had Dan Hicks, NBC Sports' lead golf commentator, and his partner. You had Steve Sands from Golf Channel and his partner. And you had Terry Gann, who, by the way, if you don't know, is going to become an NBA play-by-play voice.
Newswire, only on Sports.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day here on the grid on a fabulous football Friday. Yes, little CFL, little NFL. We got baseball. We got WNBA. Maybe a little tennis. Who knows? Over the weekend, we got some golf stuff as well. We got Cam Stewart coming on about a half hour. We'll go over some picks with him. We got Tony Finn, sports handicapping extraordinaire. We'll go down the road with him in about an hour and a half or so. In the meantime, we got our SGPs and our same-game parlays and our 5 on the lines, the Black Clouds. We had it all, including a nice little hit last night by my partner in crime, who suggested a triple-double for back-to-back and a 5-to-1 ticket. Congratulations, Gabe. Nice hit last night.
You know what? We'll thank Thomas for getting it done. But yeah, I appreciate it, Scott. Plus 500. I'll tell you what, though, they wanted, and the double was just automatic. And at minus 160, minus 165, we're going to go right back to this again in her next game. But as far as the triple-double, Scott, I was up watching it, and they were up by 30 in the fourth quarter, and she was on the floor. And she needed 4. She already had everything right away. She had the double-double, right away. She needed, the 10 assists, and she was at, 6 at the half. They're up by 30, Scott, and, she was purposely trying to get it. And she's passing the ball to everybody. And it was beautiful. They hit on a 3, too. So it wasn't like she did a rebound to herself or something off. You know what I mean? Yeah. She passed, and it's like the players knew, boom, they hit the 3. The girl looked at her, they fist bumped, and I'm like, oh, yeah, girls, you go get them. Plus 500, baby. But I got caught speeding today, Scott. Normally, I don't mind letting the market sort of bounce around a bit. So I don't place all my bets at 12 in the afternoon. You know what I mean? For a night game in the WNBA. But there's been a couple of times with everything going on with the football and baseball where during the afternoon I'm doing research and I'm breaking stuff down. I'm like, you know what? I like this in the WNBA tonight, and I don't put it in. So my new thing is just put it in now, and you don't have to worry about it. It'll be in. So, of course, I played Paige Beckers earlier in the day, over 17.5. Fine. Okay, I get my money back. I didn't get my money back, Scott. I took the Wings plus 8, and it ended up closing at 11. There was no way out. There was nothing I could do about it. I could have bought, they were offering me a cash out. I would have lost 25% of my bet. So for the record, Paige Beckers, and I was wondering, what is this, load management again with Paige? But I guess she's actually hurt for real now, which is a little bit concerning.
Yeah, she had this injury back to college. Like, she doesn't play back-to-back games. They knew that going in. She got banged up a little bit the last game. They had a stretch game.
Yeah,
where
she's
they
had a
played,
couple
like,
of
5
surgeries.
games.
You're right, Scott, huh?
Yeah.
At UConn and stuff. Yeah, she's had a couple of surgeries.
Right.
You're right. She missed a whole year, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And they had a stretch where they had like 5 games in 7 days, or maybe 8 that she sat out a couple. And
what's up with them playing the Liberty all the time, Scott? What's up with the WNBA schedule? Like, it's the third effing time, bro, and like you and I have been on in the last 6 days. It's like every 2 days. Liberty. It's like a playoff series or something. What the hell are you doing?
They had a stretch. The Liberty had a stretch where they played 7 games. They're in it right now, where they only play 3 teams in a 7-game stretch, because they played Dallas, they played Connecticut back-to-back. It's all in a Minnesota sandwich. They played Dallas 3 times. This is the third. Yeah, they played Dallas 3, Minnesota 2, and Connecticut 2 in a 7-game. I mean, it's so goofy. It shouldn't be that difficult.
And they have them flying around too, which is weird. Like they talk about money and stuff. It's like, well, maybe you should have just played a couple of games in New York instead of making them play Monday in Dallas, Friday in New York, and then, hey, ladies, we'll be here next Friday in Dallas.
We're gonna go to Seattle.
Like,
we're gonna go down to Seattle.
What are we doing?
We're gonna go to Seattle for it.
It's like, okay, fine, just make it a weekend series, back to back against Dallas and New York. You know what I mean? I swear to God, Scott, I'll show up and do a better schedule for them. I'll have a couple of drinks too. Give me a Sharpie, you know what I mean? A whiteboard, and a couple of bottles of vodka. Okay, here you effing go. Here's your schedule. Much better.
Yeah, it's crazy. It shouldn't be that difficult. Listen, I know they are flying Southwest Airlines. They actually are. It's not it's not a charter here. It's not owners airplanes, but still, something's got to be a little better than that. So, got some WNBA tonight, including the Liberty. They're up 17, and point B, and Dallas is a little bit of trouble there if you did grab them plus the 8 or even the 11.5. We got a couple of others. We got some preseason football. Points keep on coming. We got Shedeur Sanders. We have it all, including our 5 on the line, 5 best trends for tonight. Another 2 and 3 last night, where we're kind of in a rut here. We had 4 and 1 on Monday. It's been 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. So this is the line in the sand here, whether we're going to have a profitable week with this stuff or not. Yesterday we hit with Atlanta against Chicago. We hit with the over but Connecticut, LA, and then we missed with the Boston double-double. We missed with the Cordoza double-double. I got to double check the Boston. Did she get a double-double? Maybe she didn't.
She did not.
Vegas. Yeah, right. 9 rebounds. I think she came up a rebound or 2 short. So 2 and 3. So right back to the well we go. Got some good ones tonight. We'll start with some baseball stuff. Texas 12-3 versus Philadelphia. Their last 15 meetings, including 10-0 at home. Now, it's not like they play a whole lot. This over the last few years. It's kind of fluky, but 10-0 at home, 12-3. They do play well against the Phils. They do play every single year. So let's grab Texas plus the 110, no less, at home, getting odds. I'd like it from that standpoint alone. How about your Blue Jays, or not really your Blue Jays, but how about your Dodgers taking on the Blue Jays? 7-1 under road game run for the Jays. Dodgers 11-2 under their last 13 games overall. So let's go with under 9, getting a halfway decent number with Kershaw and Scherzer on the hill. Under 9, Toronto on the Dodgers. This one I like. It's I tell you what, sometimes you say, wow, this is one of those wow ones. How about Minnesota? 20-4. Their last 24 home games against Kansas City. So let's go Minnesota, right? Minus the 135 at home against Kansas City. I like this one. This one's, I don't know how you want to label this one, but how about the Cardinals 1-10, their last 11 games after a win? They've only won back-to-back games once in a month, literally. So they won their last game 2 nights ago against the Dodgers. Let's grab the Cubbies, minus 155 at St. Louis. And then that leaves us with only one. And really, this is the coup de grace, creme de la creme, numero uno trend for tonight. This is, to me, a no-brainer, which makes it dangerous. But Metsies, 1-8 their last 9 games, and they're taking on the Brewers, who are 21-4 their last 25 games. That's a bad Mets trend with a great Brewers trend. So how Milwaukee's not going to win tonight, I don't know. Best trend, 5 on the line for tonight, boys. Let's grab the Brewers. It's up now to plus or minus 155, but when we put everything together, it was minus 140 this afternoon. But people are betting the Brewers game. I don't know how. I mean, listen, I do know how because that's gambling. That's life, right? But the way Milwaukee's playing and the way the Mets are playing, man, you would think the Brewers would have an easy time tonight. With, though, by the way, Brandon Woodruff on the hill, and the Brewers 5-0 in his 5 starts since he, has come off the IL list this season. 5-0, not bad.
Brewers are a good example of I guess the market, the public's opinion. This got to be the best team in baseball for the last 2 months or whatever, and they should be bigger favorites every night. We talked about it earlier in the week against Atlanta. I still see 40 cents out there. I can get 40 cents, minus 140 still with this game. So I agree, and I do like the under. I'll share some numbers after as far as the pitching matchup concerned tonight with Max Scherzer and Clayton Kershaw and both these teams, and a wild story going back to 2008 regarding these two pitchers.
All right, we'll get to that when we come back. Great night in baseball. Great weekend it'll be in baseball. A lot of great series. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
Rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one, just getting underway. Just to recap real quickly, our 5 on the line, as we always do. First segment, Texas plus the 110 versus Philadelphia. They beat the Phillies 10 straight at home. We're going to grab under 9, Toronto and the Dodgers. Dodgers 11-2 under last 13 games. Minnesota minus the money against Kansas City. They're 20-4 at home against the Royals. Cubbies minus the 155 against St. Louis. St. Louis 1-10 after their last 11 games, or their last 11 games following a win. which they had last game out. And then Milwaukee minus the 140, a game against the Mets. Milwaukee 21-4, including 6 in a row, and Mets have lost 8 of 9. That would be your classic opposite pick, right? I mean, how in the world is Milwaukee not going to win this game with Woodruff on the hill? But that's why they call it gambling. Nothing is written in stone.
A lot of these trends tonight, they're almost too good to be true, a lot of them. Like, I can't argue. Right?
Yeah.
What do you say? 10-0 this, and you said, 20-4, 24-4, whatever, with the Minnesota Twins. That's the one that's sort of the trap, right? It's like, they're not great, so they could lose. But they all seem too good to be true almost tonight. I do like the under, Scott. It's interesting that you like that, too. I mean, we're riding the wave with the Dodger unders. They exploded for 12 in one game against the Cards, but they're 8-1-1 to the under, technically in their last 10 games. But you look at the Blue Jays. This guy has 63 hits, 45 runs right against the Rockies. This isn't the Rockies, though. And I find it interesting. So Max Scherzer. Scherzer's been around forever. So, the Dodgers have seen him before, right? There's a lot of guys that have seen him before. They're only hitting .222 against him. Clayton Kershaw, say what you will. Clayton Kershaw's pitching well now. And remember at the All-Star game, Scott, one of the guys that he really fooled was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., if you remember. And he struck him out, and Guerrero just sort of shook his head after. Kershaw gave him a nasty-ass curveball, and he struck him out pretty quickly. The Blue Jays are batting 186 against Kershaw. They don't see him much, and when they did, they struggled. So, yeah, you talk about the combo, Scott, of the total here. So, and Scherzer's pitching well. The Dodgers average 222 batting average, 186, the Blue Jays. 8-1-1. The Jays and Dodgers, they've been playing every year now with this new thing. Last year in Toronto, 6-3-1 to the under the last 10 times that they played. We have some fun pitching matchups. I mean, this thing could blow up on us, Scott. You and I both, right? Betting it under 9 with the Blue Jays and Dodgers. It might be 5-5 in the third inning. But I think Kershaw and Scherzer feel something tonight. And how about this, guys? In 2008, a veteran pitcher named Randy Johnson was set to start for the Arizona Diamondbacks against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Their starter, Scott, that night in September 2008 was Greg Maddux. They were both scratched, all right? They were both scratched due to injury. 2 unknown kids pitched that night instead. Max Scherzer versus Clayton Kershaw.
How about that?
You imagine?
Yeah, right?
4 Hall of Famers, Scott. Imagine, how many people got to the park. Johnson's not pitching. That's what I came to see. Great. And Greg Maddux is out. You got, we got who? Some kid, Clayton Kershaw and, Max Scherzer. Who was this kid? Scherzer? Probably people that probably don't want to say his name. Yeah, I swear, Scott, I wish, bro, we had a video camera and tape, bro, of people in the Dodger Stadium parking lot that night. What do you want? Maddox not pitching. Randy, you know what I mean? Someone saying sorry to their kid. I thought Randy Johnson was pitching that. Well, I'm sorry, son. And it turned out to be Max Scherzer versus Clayton Kershaw. Can you believe that? And they're pitching tonight.
You had the tickets. Yeah, if you had the ticket stub for that one, right? I forgot Maddox was a Dodger. I knew he was a Cub, and obviously was that before he went to the Braves then?
A little bit of revenge and bad blood here between the two of them, too. Dude, I got to be honest with you. When I saw this, too, I was like, I forgot Greg Maddux was a Dodger. One of those Thurman Thomas being a Miami Dolphins, Scott, or Mike Piazza on the Marlins. I'm like, Greg Maddux, Dodgers? I'm like, yeah, I guess he was at the end of his career. You know what I mean? One of those type of deals. But, that's some wild stuff, huh?
Yeah. And I did read this is only the second time they've ever met. That was the first one. And they've not met, over the course of, Scherzer being in the American League, National League, and then interleague play and everything. That somehow or another, this is only their second matchup, and that was the first one. So
you see, and you brought up Scherzer too, Ben. Scherzer's bounced around the last couple of years, right? Let's say the last 5 years. So, he's sort of, what do you think of Scherzer when you think of him? What team? Is
Detroit.
He a Tiger? Is he? Yeah, Tiger.
I still think Detroit. Yeah.
I sort of think Washington. He won with Washington. Right? He won with Washington. Right? He won a World Series. So Detroit, Washington, you know what I'm saying?
He's one of the weird guys. Yeah, he's one of the weird guys. Like, he won a ring there, but I don't think of him as a national. I really don't.
Yeah, but he was a big part of it. Him and Strasburg were the studs.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
They don't win without him.
Yeah.
They don't win without him.
Right.
But so remember, Scott, the Dodgers played the Giants, speaking of baseball history. First time they played in the playoffs in like 50 years, since the 50s type of deal. They never play in the playoffs. I went to the game. I was actually at the windstorm game. And Max Scherzer pitched. The Dodgers lost 1-0. It was the windiest night in LA history, of course. And the ball was staying in. And Giants hit a home run in the first inning. Nobody scored again the rest of the night. That was game 4. Game 3, Dodgers won the series in 5. But nevertheless, Scott, if you recall, Scherzer, and this is where Walker Buehler comes in. Scherzer was a free agent. And he didn't really, he's kind of a mercenary, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? You'll see he'll leave a team and, you know what I mean? He's highest bidder type of guy. So he wasn't like rah-rah Dodgers. It was more I'm on the Dodgers. And he told them, you know what, guys, my arm, and I don't know if I can go. Buehler being the stud that he is, give me the ball, like on 2.5, 3 days rest type thing. Give me the ball. Scherzer did it a couple of times, and the Dodgers clued in. You know what? He's protecting his arm for free agency. He doesn't care about the playoffs, and it's like what we're doing here. That was the word in the clubhouse. Like, there'll be some Dodgers that want to beat him tonight, and he'll want to beat the Dodgers tonight, Scott.
Interesting. Yeah, he was no CC Sabathia. Let's put it that way. I remember when he was acquired by the Milwaukee Brewers. That free agent year from Cleveland. Interesting. All right, got some good teams that are trailing. We'll look at that in SGP when we come back.
Can you handle the heat? If you don't mind the desert at the hottest, consider visiting Vegas in the summer, where the temperatures are high and the prices are low. Have fun! See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He comes back, and what are we talking about? Mid-August at that point, and then he gets a couple more starts and they're ready for the postseason. So right now, I would say probably not an issue long term. Obviously change the lines of what we're going to see today. I haven't seen the lines reopen, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're locked right now, so not an issue right now. As long as he comes back and he still has that plant leg and he's still strong with that, probably no worries for the Brewers right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You have to imagine it'll be Rory and Tommy. So that is just such a strong foursomes pairing. And then I look over here at the Americans. I'm like, golly, if Patrick Cantlay, they just need him to make the team because you got Scotty and Russell. If Xander's going out, you have to him and Pat have been so good in the foursomes. Bryson's going to have to play. Who's he going to play with?
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Out of 30 teams, Gabe, only 10 have a winning record against left-handed pitchers. 10-19, and there's one team that's 12-12.
See, I think it's the Yankees. Yeah. See, I didn't know the exact number, Scott, but I would have, I knew where you were going with this, in which there's just not as many left-handed hitters. They're not as good against them.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Quick little update. Shedeur Sanders with his second touchdown pass. I tell you what, the kid looks pretty good.
Well, Scott, look at this. And you know what? I know we get to your pick here, but the first touchdown that he threw, that was a nice pass, bro. I thought it was going to get intercepted. I almost felt bad for him as the ball was in the air. I was like, oh, no, man, the internet's going to blow up and kill the kid. You know what I mean? The ball was in the air. And then I was almost surprised. I'm like, oh, my God. he threw it over and under someone. It was really like there were 2-3 DBs, blue jerseys. I was like, no, bad pass, kid. And boom, touchdown. Now, it should be noted the Panthers fumbled the ball on a punt. They got the ball on like the 8-yard line type of deal. But he took advantage of it. And he took advantage of it. Nice pass. And this touch, I just saw the touchdown right now, Scott. Nice pass in traffic again. Yeah. Not like some, fluky. No. Like, he looks like he belongs, bro. He looks like he belongs to me. He looks better than a 5th-round draft pick to me. I'll tell you that. He looks good out there. With the second unit, Scott, against the Panthers ones, it should be noted.
Right. And he was under pressure. He was under rush. He stepped to his right, kind of stepped up into the pocket a little bit, and saw the wide receiver kind of cut across the middle. I mean, it was it was an NFL pass. It really was.
Right between the numbers, too. You saw it. Like, the receiver didn't reach forward, or was like, no, he slid right into it. Same with the first one.
It had to be.
Yeah. Same with the first one. It wasn't like, oh, yeah, it was nice, but the guy saved him with the catch or whatnot. It was like, no, it was like right on stride in traffic. One thing, and I tweet, I'm on the Browns, Scott, tonight, plus the points. And I posted before the game. I said, one thing, guys, one of the reasons why I do like the Browns tonight, Shedeur Sanders, Scott, is used to running for his life, bro. Colorado's offensive line was terrible. No, seriously, he snapped the ball, and he same thing, and he played at Jackson State before. Like, he's never played with, like, even these second-tier guys on the Browns are the best O-line he's ever played in his life, Scott. And look, kid's got 2 touchdown passes in the first half, bro.
Yeah, looks good. Looks real good. All right, we'll get back into that. We'll give you the updated lines on that when we come back. First up, though, little SGP same-game parlay time. All right, this one, we mentioned this last night. Last night, I was happy FanDuel gave us really good odds on a parlay. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This is one of those where they really don't, but it is what it is. Got to grab Arizona versus Colorado. You have to go against the Rockies. The way they've been giving up runs left and right? I mean, so give me Arizona. Not only that, give me the minus 1.5 runs. We had to do something to bump this up a little bit. We're going to go over 9. With that Arizona bullpen being as bad as it is, and with Colorado giving up just themselves over 11 runs a game over their last 8 games, I don't know how this one doesn't get to 10 runs. So Arizona lay the 1.5, over 9, and then we use Marte to get a hit, which is minus 425, which is ludicrous, but it is what it is. Score a run, minus the 260. He figures to be on base. We'll use Corbin Carroll to get a base hit, minus the 290. And then we'll use Warming Bernabel. Who the fudge is that, Scott? Yes,
who,
right?
What?
So, yeah, right.
Bernabel?
Believe it or not.
What? Like, what?
Bernabel.
Sounds like a German, like I'm in a German restaurant, Scott. That's on the menu.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this?
Bernabel? Yeah. The dude, he's a rookie. He was rookie of the week last week. He's got a hit in 8 of his 10 games. He's hitting over 300. He's doing now. It's the Rockies, so why not? We'll throw him in there just to get a base hit, just to bump the odds up. They're not great odds, like I said, plus 465, but you're basically turning a minus 160, 170 or so favorite in Arizona into a plus 4.5 to 1 parlay pick if they hit. And guys,
I don't have a problem with it. Listen, we saw the Blue Jays feast, and it was a let's pad our stat week against Colorado, albeit that was in Coors. But if you're Arizona, what was the theme, too, Scott? Remember we talked about it last week. Arizona beat the Athletics for a couple of games. Then they got beat up by better teams. You know what I mean? And they lost. I think this could be that weekend. If everything falls into place, this is where guys on Arizona pad their stats. Right? Like you said, pretty low number for a Rocky staff. I don't care if they're pitching in Coors or anywhere. Like you said, a total of 9 in a Rocky game, as bad as their pitching staff is. And on any given night, we talk about it, the Rockies can put 5-6 up.
Yeah. I mean, even with Gallen still, even with that Arizona bullpen being as bad as it is, it's one of the worst statistically in baseball. You're right. I mean, I'm thinking Colorado's good for at least 4. So then you only need 6, out of Arizona. And like I said, Colorado's been giving up over 11 runs a game over the last 8 games, not just 2 or 3 games, 8 games. So interesting. All right, Cam Stewart will join us next. We'll get some thoughts and winners out of him when we come back.
Can you handle the heat? If you don't mind the desert at the hottest, consider visiting Vegas in the summer, where the temperatures are high and the prices are low. Have fun! See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He comes back, and what we're talking about, mid-August at that point, and then he gets a couple more starts, and they're ready for the postseason. So right now, I would say probably not an issue long-term. You know, obviously change the lines of what we're going to see today. I haven't seen the lines reopen, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're locked right now, so not an issue right now. As long as he comes back and he still has that plant leg and he's still strong with that, probably no worries for the Brewers right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You have to imagine it'll be Rory and Tommy. So that is just such a strong foursomes pairing. And then I look over here at the Americans. I'm like, golly, if Patrick Cantlay, they just need him to make the team because you got Scotty and Russell. If Xander's going out, you have to him and Pat have been so good in the foursomes. Bryson's going to have to play. Who's he going to play with?
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
You know, out of 30 teams, Gabe, only 10 have a winning record against left-handed pitchers. 10-19, and there's one team that's 12-12.
See, I think it's the Yankees. Yeah. See, I didn't know the exact number, Scott, but I would have, I knew where you were going with this, in which there's just not as many left-handed hitters. They're not as good against them.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. We got preseason football, CFL, baseball, WNBA. We got some golf as well heading into the weekend with the FedEx Cup going on. So let's bring in our good buddy Cam Stewart, who you've seen here all the time here on the Grid. What's going on, Cam? How are you tonight?
Doing pretty good, Scott. Yeah, no, that was at the end of that golf. I'm not sure if anyone saw, there was torrential rain in Memphis. It was nuts. They were worried about things getting blown over. That course got rocked, almost like a hurricane. So we'll see what happens a little bit later. I can tell you one thing, it's going to be soft when they start play again because it got absolutely destroyed. It was wild because Smiley Kaufman was doing interviews with guys and they were like, whoa, man, we can't even go outside. Everybody's packed in the dining room. But yeah, football, I know, Gabe, you're on the Montreal Alouettes, and I don't know what's going on in the CFL. Maybe Morency's got an answer for, but these returns are unreal. Again, tonight, it was a very, very low-scoring game. I'm on the under 52, and Montreal came back with a beautiful punt return, but that's kind of the main points in the game. 10-1 right now. I see a 42.5 on FanDuel right now. It just went from 43.5 to 2.5. I don't think this is going to blow up the way the Hamilton Tiger Cat game did with BC last night. That second half was just crazy, but who knows? It is the Canadian Football League, Morency, and you know the C stands for crazy. But this one, very good defenses on both parts, except for that one mistake with the Edmonton special teams. NFL, you guys, I heard you guys talking about Detroit and Atlanta. Not really impressive with Detroit right now. They're basically minus 120 on the money line at the half. I think they can come back and win. Maybe a small play there. Both games to go. Gabe, you're right. I think this Detroit-Atlanta game might go under 32.5, but don't want to go crazy with that. 17 at the break. That's an interesting number that the books are posting.
The Lions will have I don't know about a big advantage in the second half, but Allen wasn't very good last week for the Detroit Lions in the Hall of Fame game. He was bad, actually, bad. Hendon Hooker looked okay tonight. I'm watching the game. I'm watching all these games at once, so I haven't seen every snap. But Hooker's, showing flashes. But I'm telling you what, guys, the Falcons' defense is going to be better this year, a lot better. They have a new nastiness to them. They had a great draft, but there's a certain edge. Bijan Robinson was talking about it this week about how they said what's in camp going on, and he said, "I'll tell you what's going on." He goes, "Man, the defense. They talk smack, they hit us hard, There's an edge to this Falcons defense that they're trying to bring with these SEC draft picks. And so far, so good. Their defenses look good in this game. But I would believe Easton Stick played, guys, in the first half here. He's pretty good in the preseason, Easton Stick. And he started games before, so he's been around. and I'm on the Falcons plus the 3.5. But Emory Jones is going to be coming in. You remember him, Scott, from Florida, Emory Jones.
Yeah.
He's okay, right? He's okay. You know what I mean? He's one of these athletic kids, but he's a typical preseason kid who's going to be running for his life, and he's going to be throwing the ball out of bounds. And so I'm a little concerned. So, yeah, I think the Lions could come back here in the second half. When you consider the Lions were terrible for 4 quarters at the Hall of Fame game, now another 2 quarters, they're almost due to make an effing play.
I agree.
Yeah.
But right, and the game is a pick 'em. And eventually Campbell's going to say, all right, guys, like, someone going to make a play for me or what? Right? So they're minus 120 on the money line. I've already got the Falcons plus the points, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Lions did win this game now, considering the situation coming up in the second half. And I would say, too, the Commanders plus 16.5. Yeah. The Patriots got like the opening kickoff return for a touchdown from Trevion Henderson. It's been like a disastrous first half for the Commanders, but it's a lot of points now, 16.5. They score once and that door opens. So that sort of catches my eye there, too.
Yeah. They got to play someone besides Sam Hartman. He wasn't a good quarterback at Notre Dame.
He's
let
terrible.
alone for the Washington. Yeah,
he should be a model instead. People are all like, "Oh, look at his hair, he's good looking." It's like go do a Gap commercial because you suck. You're right. Like,
he's at Wake Forest. I was like, "Ooh, Sam Hartman."
Right.
It's like, no, Sam Hartman. No,
he's one of these guys. He takes his helmet off and he fixes his hair, and everyone on this, oh, look at him.
Ooh, yeah.
It's like, all right. Yeah, like you said, like Notre Dame was over his head. Like, I mean, like you're not a Wake Forest anymore. Like, so, like, yeah, like we got a problem here. I don't know if you're what, you know. The thing is, they didn't even play Mariota either. So they got Mariota as the backup, right?
They got Josh Johnson. Yeah. I mean, they got guys on there that you think could put some points on the board second half, right? I mean, but we talked about it, Cam, yesterday, me and Gabe. I mean, Dan Quinn, you talk about just not caring about the preseason. 7-17 straight up, 6-18 against the spread. I mean, he's not even competitive. 15-9 under, which tells you that, they're not scoring. They just don't try for whatever reason. And maybe this is an example of, all right, you know what, Sam, take one for the team. We got 3 preseason games. We just don't care. I don't know how you don't care. I mean, we all played sports. I can't honestly ever remember going on a field, whatever it was, and saying, I don't want to win today. I don't really care if we win or lose.
Even in the preseason exhibition, Gabe played hockey. It's the same thing. When you put on that jersey, I don't want to talk to friends. When you had friends on other teams, I'll talk to you after the game. There's no loving it up before the game. No, we're here for business, and we'll talk later.
I saw Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was asked about preseason, and he said, "Oh, I'll play if they want me to." And then he said, "But he goes, educated people know this, that the preseason is ridiculously stupid and it's not real football." And he started saying, they're not blitzing, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. And he goes, I've never thought much of the preseason. And I couldn't help but think, too, how many times he's looked flat in the first month of the season because he never played. And then secondly, as he's saying it like arrogantly, like he talks to the media all the time about the preseason this, I'm thinking, it's funny because Patrick Mahomes is playing the first quarter tomorrow. I guess he's an idiot.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I guess he's an idiot. You know what I mean? I guess Joe Burrow played last night. I guess he's an idiot, right? Like, it's just okay, whatever. Aaron Rodgers is just the smartest guy in the room all the time. Just ask him,
No, you're right, Gabe. And that's the whole thing about Mahomes. I could still tell you when he wakes up, he's probably got this bitter taste in his mouth after the Eagles kicked their ass in that Super Bowl. Like, that was a manhandling disaster, like from start to finish. This guy's seething. I bet he wants to get out there in the first couple drives, bam, 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 at least get 7 or 14 before he gets off the field, because that's the type of competitor he is. I'm with you. And that's the thing. AR always does start slow. Maybe he should play, but he is a little bit older right now. What are you guys doing with this Dodger Jays game? Very excited for this one. I know I agree with you with the Colorado-Arizona game. The Colorado Rockies had their backup catcher throwing batting practice to the Jays when it was 20-1. We were cracked out. It was unbelievable. That guy was grooving pitches like dead center every pitch. Bam, bam. They're just smashing them out. It was hilarious. But, I kind of lean Arizona in this spot too, guys. That total seems light. I agree with you guys on the over 9. What are we doing with this Dodger-Blue Jay game? Do you think there's going to be runs there? With Dodgers should be able to attack Scherzer. I know he's probably only going to go about 4. I don't know what the Jays are going to do against Kershaw. Seems like a short price for the Dodgers, and I'm a Jays fan. My heart's telling me, maybe stay away from this one. The Dodgers, they're actually that's a nice price tonight for the Dodgers, laying under 40 cents.
Yeah, it's not bad at home, right? I've been burned by them guys so many times over the last 2 weeks that I can't do it anymore. The St. Louis Cardinal series was the last one. I thought for sure they would, if not sweep, certainly take 2 out of 3, and they still lost 2 out of 3 to a Cardinal team that's been playing like garbage. So I tell you what, I would take a flyer. I like the under. Gabe and I talked about that, but I would take a flyer on the Jays at plus 116. Playing
really?
good
But
ball.
Wetzel,
Yeah.
I worry though when you have those type of games, and I know they exploded for tons of runs. They set a record with hits and everything. It's hard to do that, sustaining it, going from Colorado at Coors to LA. I kind of think, maybe the high voltage of the Blue Jays it's not going to be there tonight. I get it. I'm looking at these guys as a dog, but I hate to say it, like the Dodgers at home with that price, I kind of think that's the play, Gabe. And you know me, I want to cheer for the Blue Jays.
I like the under 9. Both me and Scott, without knowing, both came to the table with the under 9 tonight in this game for different reasons, which is risky, so to speak, with these teams. But the Dodgers aren't hitting the ball very well recently, and I do agree with Cam. The Blue Jays just lit up the Rockies. This is going to be different. They don't see Kershaw a lot. Kershaw's pitching well. He's got nasty stuff still. That's why I like the under, and I will take the Dodgers at minus 135.
More baseball talk and other stuff with Cam when we come back to Game Live Game Day here on The Grid.
Can you handle the heat? If you don't mind the desert at the hottest, consider visiting Vegas in the summer, where the temperatures are high and the prices are low. Have fun! See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He comes back, and what we're talking about, mid-August at that point, and then he gets a couple more starts and they're ready for the postseason. So right now, I would say probably not an issue long-term. Obviously change the lines of what we're going to see today. I haven't seen the lines reopen, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're locked right now, so not an issue right now. As long as he comes back and he still has that plant leg and he's still strong with that, probably no worries for the Brewers right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You have to imagine it'll be Rory and Tommy. So that is just such a strong foursomes pairing. And then I look over here at the Americans. I'm like, golly, if Patrick Cantlay, they just need him to make the team because you got Scotty and Russell. If Xander's going out, you have to him and Pat have been so good in the foursomes. Bryson's going to have to play. Who's he going to play with?
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Out of 30 teams, Gabe, only 10 have a winning record against left-handed pitchers. 10-19, and there's one team that's 12-12.
See, I think it's the Yankees. Yeah. See, I didn't know the exact number, Scott, but I would have, I knew where you were going with this, in which there's just not as many left-handed hitters. They're not as good against them.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Welcome back in Game Live Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe chatting with our good buddy Cam Stewart. So Cam got one play I did like, and it's behind in baseball. So give me your thoughts on Mets actually leading Milwaukee 2-0, top of the third, early on. Gabe and I both thought the price was a little low, suspiciously low with Milwaukee, only a minus 140 or so home favorite, 21-4 their last 5, and lo and behold, they're down 2-0. You grab now the Brewers plus 164. What'd you think about this game, and what would you do right now if you didn't have any dog in the fight?
I would take a shot with the Brewers. You know, you're getting plus 1.5, 20 cents on my FanDuel. They're plus 165. You know, Woodruff's a good pitcher. Like, I think that number is really interesting. I find it very shocking too, guys. I know the Angels have a 4-3 lead on the Tigers, and even when it was 3-3, it was like a pick 'em, and they had Skubal go. I'm like, am I missing something here? It almost felt like a reverse trap in that game. But I would take a shot with Milwaukee. And the other game, guys, I was looking at later on tonight. I don't want to lay runs with the home team, but Nick Pivetta against Walker Buehler tonight. I like the Padres. You don't want to lay 74 cents in that game, but maybe minus 1.5 with the Padres in that spot. Lean to Seattle with Castillo going against Rasmussen of Tampa Bay as well. That total's light at 7, but two very, very good pitchers right there.
I got to go. That's my one dog of the night, guys. And I've been riding San Diego throughout the week. They've been hot. I respect them. But Walker Buehler, you know, you could say, yeah, it's risky. But Walker Buehler, 6-1 in his career. Walker Buehler's pitched a lot against San Diego, right? He was on the Dodgers. And this is only his first year on the Red Sox. So he knows San Diego. They know him. And he's always pitched well against them. 6-1 with a 1.80 ERA, 79 strikeouts, 6-1 record, 12 appearances in his lifetime against them. Tatis, and it's interesting because I think that Boston are actually a live dog tonight at plus 145. I think it's just a toss-up, right? I think, San Diego are good against bad teams, but I think this is going to be a big-time series, one of those sort of like playoff-like atmosphere series this weekend. Tatis, though, guys, 5 home runs and 32 at-bats against Buehler.
Huge.
Wow. It's pretty big, yes. And you like the numbers, 1 point. That's Scott. I was thinking that's 1.6, like 2 times or whatever. Like every at bat, like 32 times, 5 home runs. That's not a fluke. Like he hits them, and so Tatis is plus 375. But and this is interesting, Cam. Me and Scott have been talking about batter strikeout props, and you brought up Cal Raleigh, Scott, the other day. Right. You know what? So I noticed, Wetzel and Cam. You like this, Scott? I noticed. I'm looking at Tatis's numbers against Buehler. I'm like, wow, 5 home runs, 32 at bats. And you know what else I saw right next to that? 13 strikeouts.
Oof! I was going to say
he
6
struck out. Wow. He struck out 13 times, 5 home runs. So it's almost like he's swinging for the fences against Buehler, right? It's like I think I know what's coming. I'm going to take a chance. It's like they're gambling with each other. I guess the pitch right or I didn't this time. So, you know what? I thought, all right, I'm going to bet over 1.5, but the prop, guys, is 0.5 tonight for Tatis strikeouts. So he's got to strike out once, but it's minus 190. But I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it. Like, I think he's going to strike out at least once, and I think he can get a home run at least once. So, those are my plays, guys. This is my opinion. I'm going to take the Red Sox. Wetzel's a Red Sox fan here. So Cam says San Diego. I'm going to roll the dice with Boston plus 145 here tonight.
Wow, the Patriots just scored again, guys, on 4th and 2 as well. So, see, these guys they're the opposite of the Commanders. They're not kicking field goals. They're going for it. They scored a touchdown. We're at 30 points right now at this game with 2 and change left in the third quarter, and Detroit has tied it up. So I guess our money line there, now they're minus 170 instead of basically a pick 'em. So a little bit of value there. What do you guys think about this over in Cleveland, Carolina? Do you think it's going to open up for points in this game? 14-7. We just started the second half. That seems a little bit light. These teams, Carolina might score, and I think Cleveland's they're not going to put on the brakes.
Well, I was going to ask you, Cam, I looked it up last year. There were 5 overs, 9 unders in week number 1. It was like 5 and 11. So there's only 5 overs and 11 unders. This year, so far, it's 4-0 over if you want to count the Hall of Fame game. The New England-Washington figures to be going over. Right? You only need a couple more points there, and you're still in the first half. And Carolina and Cleveland's more than halfway there. So are you going to put any credence into that in the games tomorrow and Sunday, or is that just a fluke and you say every game is different? Because I tend to think that maybe there's a secret tweet that the coaches all have, and they all say, yeah, you know what, guys, let's try and score this weekend. I believe there's something like that. I really do.
Don't you think it's like water kind of finds its level type of thing? I don't think all those games. Gabe and I on the podcast had Rob Vino on in that Minnesota game. I know Gabe Vino was talking about the under there with those teams. The Houston Texans apparently like huge to the under in their game, so we were looking at that one. But some of the other games, I think there could be points in. So I don't know, Scott. I really don't know how to answer that question. 4-0. I can tell you at the end, it's probably going to be maybe just slightly more overs, but I don't think it's going to be like 65% overs. And I think it's going to basically balance itself out. That's my opinion.
I don't think, Scott, that it's, there's a pattern to it. There is so far. But I think it's the quarterbacks. You talked about it. Cam Miller looked good last night, right? Jalen Milroe made some plays last night, right? So it's all about the second half. Yeah, Sanders looked good. It's all about the second half quarterbacks. So in this Cleveland game, and speaking of which, there's a pick 6 for the Edmonton Elks right now. They're down 13-4. It just became 13-10, extra point pending. And that's been McLeod Bethel Thompson. There's literally 10 seconds left in the half, and he throws your team's winning 13-4, and you throw a pick 6, bro. Like,
I can't believe really? I got the under, Gabe. There's been 14 points off the stoop like that. That is just stupid. You're right. Like, unbelievable pick 6 too. All you got to do is kick up the field goal there. This guy throws basically a dead duck, and it gets. Oh my God, that was awful. What a horrible throw. Not even close. Man,
I said earlier today, I said if I was the Alouettes, I would just run the ball like 100 times. And this is why you should listen to me. I swear, Wetzel, I said earlier today, I said, I said just run the ball a lot. Like, lo and behold, he throws a pick 6. That's totally his fault. There's no one else to blame on it.
That's a 10-point swing on one play, Gabe. That's a chip shot field goal for Santos. He's a good kicker. And then all of a sudden, even an incomplete pass, you're right there and you give Edmonton points and you give the underdog life. Big mistake.
Yeah. Went for 2, I guess, because it's 13-11 Montreal. So, great job as always. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Can you handle the heat? If you don't mind the desert at the hottest, consider visiting Vegas in the summer, where the temperatures are high and the prices are low. Have fun! See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
He comes back, and what are we talking about? Mid-August at that point, and then he gets a couple more starts, and they're ready for the postseason. So right now, I would say probably not an issue long-term. You know, obviously change the lines of what we're going to see today. I haven't seen the lines reopen, at least on the FanDuel Sportsbook. They're locked right now, so not an issue right now. As long as he comes back and he still has that plant leg and he's still strong with that, probably no worries for the Brewers right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You have to imagine it'll be Rory and Tommy. So that is just such a strong foursomes pairing. And then I look over here at the Americans. I'm like, golly, if Patrick Cantlay, they just need him to make the team because you got Scotty and Russell. If Xander's going out, you have to him and Pat have been so good in the foursomes. Bryson's going to have to play. Who's he going to play with?
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
You know, out of 30 teams, Gabe, only 10 have a winning record against left-handed pitchers. 10-19, and there's one team that's 12-12.
See, I think it's the Yankees. Yeah. See, I didn't know the exact number, Scott, but I would have, I knew where you were going with this, in which there's just not as many left-handed hitters. They're not as good against them.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, thanks to Cam Stewart, who joins us every Wednesday and Friday and will during the football season. Get his thoughts. Time for our final segment of hour number 1, and you know what that means, our Black Cloud Play of the Day. All right, talk about the suspicious lines, right? Certain lines we thought were a little low. Milwaukee, maybe the Dodger line. Hey, here's another one. Seattle playing great baseball, taking on Tampa Bay, which is not playing good baseball. In fact, 3-11 their last 14 road games. They got Drew Rasmussen pitching. He's been pretty good. I will admit that, and that's probably why the line is as low as it is. But, boy, I tell you what, you give me the Mariners, 10 games over 500, 6-1 their last 7. They've only had the one loss, since all the trades that they made, even though they're getting basically nothing, by the way, from Eugenio Suarez. I'll give you his numbers. They're alarmingly bad. But that said, I got a hot team versus a cold team. The hot team's at home. I got one of the better pitchers, Castillo on the hill for Seattle against, admittedly one of the better pitchers for Tampa Bay. I'll take the Mariners. You want to give me minus 130, and now it's on minus 120 on FanDuel. But give me Seattle. I don't know how they lose this game at home. 11-4 their last 15 home games as well. So Mariners, the big play for the late games tonight, Gabe.
Yeah, I like it. It's a short price. Almost feels too good to be true again. Almost, but a hot team at home, feeling the momentum after the trades and the great vibe in the stadium, etc. Got to ride this wave through the weekend. You brought up Rasmussen on the hill here tonight. I'm going to throw one at you here, Scott. I'm going to play the Mariners as well, but I'm going to go under 4 in the first 5. Okay. Under 4 in the first 5. If you look at Rasmussen, he's been pretty solid. He's going to give you 5-6 too. You look, he's pretty consistent, right? He's going to give you 5 or 6, at least 5 type of deal. And he's pretty solid early in baseball games. He's got a big time. He's one of the bigger under type pitchers in the first 5, and I don't think Tampa are going to hit early in this game. The total is light for a reason, Scott. Look at look at the total as a whole, 7.5. So I even saw some 7s popping up out there for this game, and now I see a 7 exactly, 7.5 earlier today. So we're getting 4 in the first 5 with these pitchers. With Castillo, who's better at home than he is on the road as well. Like his road home splits are crazy, because remember we talked about it last week when he was in Seattle. I'm going to go under. I don't want to bet the under 7, Scott. There might be some later runs in this game, but I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. So, I'm going to go with the Mariners to win the game, but I'm going to go under 4 runs first 5.
A couple things. One, they must just not want to give you a 3.5 or really a 2.5 for a first 5, right? You figure, okay, there's 7. You're over under a 7. You just split the game in half. Yeah. And it should be 3.5. That's where it is. But generally, you get a lot of the runs, with the bullpens. So it's generally a little bit less because the starting pitchers are in there that are supposed to do well. But I don't think I've ever seen a 2.5. And if there was a game that should have been 2.5, this probably is it. It's 3.5. So I think you're getting a halfway decent number. And the other one is, Suarez.
See, I'm greedy though, Scott. Like, remember I wanted 250 to 1 with him. I'm greedy. I was hoping for 4.5. I was like, can I get a 4.5 on this? And I was like, nah, it's 4. It's 4. You know what I mean? Yeah. I looked at a couple of places. 4. It's 4. Yeah, it's like you said, it's not bad. The 2 pitchers, the total is 7. Like the math, you know what I mean? This is why I don't play a ton of first 5. So I think it's the first one I give it all week, right? But this one caught my eye looking at the numbers.
What do you make of Suarez? Now, if you look at his career, it's pretty consistent. The guy averages 25, 30 home runs. He's about a 260 hitter, gives you 80, 90 RBIs with up and down his 8-9 year career, whatever it's been, right? So he's been with Seattle before, so that can't be an excuse. But in 7 games, Gabe, 28 at-bats since they acquired him. The dude is 3 for 28. He's hitting a $107. 1 home run,
very Devers-like.
3 RBIs.
Very Devers-like. Yeah. Goes to a new team, right? Devers gets called out for it. I'm just saying, Suarez.
Good point.
Are they over-trying? Right? Are they overthinking, over-trying, new team? Right? It's strange, right, that Suarez. You figure in as well, Scott, in some other sports, it'd be like, yeah, well, it's a team sport, like basketball. It takes a guy, it takes a team a couple of weeks. You got to learn to play together. Baseball, you don't. What's different for him? He's at bat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's at plate. Doesn't matter what jersey you're wearing. You're hitting the ball. As a pitcher, the pitcher, right? You faced him. Like, it is strange, right? He goes to a new team. They welcome him back. He's all happy, and only 3 hits. I brought up, I said I thought Rodriguez would heat up, though, now that they got these guys. So it's sort of a whack-a-mole, but Suarez is due, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Overs it.
We all know a night out at the club in Vegas can get a little bit pricey, but I've got a tip that can save you a cover fee at some of the hottest nightclubs. All you have to do is sign up online for free with a credible guest list service. Then, just show up before 10:30 and check right in. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
I was that confused trying to figure out why Cameron Young isn't as good as he should be, because we've seen all the flashes. Like at some point of his career, he's been elite at something. Like he's been elite at putting this year. He's been an elite iron player. He's been an elite driver of the golf ball. So check out this chart I had to get.
We got a chart.
Look at this chart that I had to come up with.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Every time he's there, he just finds a way, and he's going to break through. Look at Cameron Young. Cameron Young was one of those guys, too. Remember Cameron Young? Second in the Open Championship. Fourth, like plays great in majors. Almost won the Canadian Open again. I seen this guy play live. I'm like, how does this guy not have a win? And then last week, Kev, you saw what he did. He put his foot on your throat, wrestling style. He didn't just win. He murdered the competition last week.
Game time decisions, only on
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got Tony Finn coming up in about a half hour, gambling extraordinaire. We'll get some thoughts out of him. In the meantime, we got baseball, we got CFL, we got NFL, we got WNBA. Haven't taken a peek at that in a little while, Gabe. So, fourth quarter just getting underway. New York and Dallas. The Wings without Paige Beckers tonight. No Brianna Stewart for New York. 64-57. You know, they played 5 games without Stewart. They've won a couple, but they've yet to cover any of them. They're 0-5. So your Dallas plus 8.5 got a little life down, only 7. And then how about the Mystics? They traded away about 5,000 players this week, and they're actually leading at Minnesota 62-60 fourth quarter. That game is pick'em.
I got to take Minnesota here,
the
Scott.
best team, right?
And remember, you and I talked about it the other night with Minnesota, and I said, I like them against – they always beat Seattle, and you brought it up. They said, they're missing 2 of their starters tonight. They won anyways. Without Collier, they beat Seattle. Yeah. Right? And now they're down tonight, but now they're down 4. 64-60. Wow. Plus 105 on the money line, 151.5. And speaking of the Storm and Aces, I don't know how you feel about this one, Scott. I like the Aces tonight. I think this team, they've been struggling. They're 5-1 straight up. I got some numbers on it. We'll get to it later. But 5-1, I guess we'll do it now. We're on it. Why not? I'll bring it up. I'll throw it at you here. But they've been playing some good basketball, Scott. They're too good of a team. She's too good of a coach, right? They had some struggles, egos and all that, but they're on a little bit of a roll right now, guys. The Las Vegas Aces, the Storm are 1-4 straight up in ATS in their last 5 games. The Aces 4-1 straight up and ATS in their last 5 games. The Aces 6-2 straight up last 8 against the Seattle Storm, and the game is a pick'em, and it's in Las Vegas. I don't understand this number, Wetzel. I don't understand this number. I don't get it. Why aren't Las Vegas like 3.5, 4.5 point favorites? That's what I think they should be.
Makes no sense. The teams are tied for the number 3 spot, so that's a big, game. You don't want to fall into the number 4 spot because that would mean you're facing the best team, in second round of the postseason. I mean, I've still 10, 15 games left. I get that, but still, it's a big game. 7-3 their last 10 is Las Vegas as well. Yeah, sometimes you just take the gift horse and just run with it, right? You want to give me Las Vegas, basically pick them at home. 2 teams, identical records, 16-14. Neither one's particularly great at home or on the road as far as Seattle's concerned. But it's an even match, and you can give me the home team That's, oh, by the way, won 7 in a row, and Seattle's lost 3 straight, albeit by a combined 10 points. But I was talking on Game Time Decisions about this, Dave. I almost would rather bet on a team that's lost 3 in a row by 20 points or more, because then it'd do it a little soul searching, and then realize, all right, you know what, we're embarrassing ourselves. When you got a team that's lost 3 in a row by a combined 10 points like Seattle has, well, then they're just kind of snake bitten, and that snake bitten can just last. They're finding ways to lose. So I'm going to play a hunch on the Aces. I'll go with the home team that's playing a little bit better. Even though I know
I'm on the Aces as well.
All over it.
But I told you earlier, I told you last week, Seattle are like my kryptonite, the WNBA. You know, they're just one of those teams that, you know, like, so they lost the other night. They're unpredictable. Like, people thought, oh, you know, Minnesota are injured. They're in Seattle are at home. They should win. And Seattle draw well, too. Like, they're a popular team. Right, like they draw well. They've got a fan base. They've got a history. They've got good players, etc. But they're just an erratic team, and I think, you know, Vegas are just trending in the right direction right now. But another thing, guys, I want to bring this up, and I see. So there is a number, dear God, and the Indiana Fever, Scott, are still 10.5-point favorites tomorrow. They're without 9 players now tomorrow. They're without 9 players tomorrow, like literally. Like, I don't know, like they won't have a bench. They actually asked the league to, like, give them an exemption, Scott, a roster exemption, because they're out of bodies. And the league said, no,
point
too
guards.
bad. Too bad.
All their point guards are hurt. Yeah. I mean, it's just like, and yet now Chicago stinks, but still.
Yeah, but they're 10.5. Is Chicago that bad, really? Huh? Like, wow, there's 10.5. I'm almost thinking to the odds makers, what am I missing on this? Like, I'm even surprised the game's not off the board, Scott. Like, I'd be like, they're missing all their players. Like, who's
old school? It would be old school. It would be off the board completely. But 2025, not allowed. Not allowed.
So they do have Aaliyah Boston. They have Aaliyah Boston. They have Natasha Howard, and they have Sophie Cunningham, and they have Lexi Hull. Cardosa, Atkins, Williams. There's no Reese for Chicago still. But yeah, Chicago are bad, aren't they? Like, they're just a terrible team.
They're terrible. Lost again last night by double digits to Atlanta.
Touchdown Lions.
Nice.
Touchdown Lions, 16-10 right now. I'm on the Falcons, but good call by Cam bringing it up. And I said, too, Emory Jones didn't instill a lot of confidence in me, Scott, in the second half for the Falcons here. You know what I mean? And, so I was like, they're probably not going to move the ball very much, and the Lions are going to get tired and eventually, like, take the lead in one of these games. So, 17-10, 42 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Or extra point pending, actually, 16-10.
Yeah. So over-under on that one is 34. Now the Lions are a 6.5-point favorite. Minus 178, no less, which I would never do in a preseason game.
And the total's plummeting.
Don't think he's going to score.
No, and the total's plummeting in the Cleveland game here, too. Down to 31.5 right now, 14-7.
I'd say Sanders had a Shedeur Sanders, if you will, moment. I won't go too crazy because I don't have the sound on, so I don't know exactly what it was all about. But their last possession game was third and whatever. He got sacked. He stood up. He was yelling at something. He took his helmet off on the field, which should have been a penalty right away. Now, I don't know. He could have been mad at the official. I don't think so, because they brought him over on the sidelines and they calmed him down a little bit. It looked like he was kind of calling out a wide receiver who should have gone right and went left or vice versa. But it's just, you don't want to ruin. You had a great first half. I'm a little surprised he played third quarter. I really am. I hate the philosophy of get out before you do something bad. But it's just like, you know what? You had 2 touchdown passes. The offense played well. You moved the ball. I think I would have taken him out of halftime and just said,
now,
nice
Scott,
job,
he's with third stringers, too. Think about that. Like, now, so that's why it's sort of imploding and he's getting frustrated. But you're bang on about this. If you're a Shedeur, it's like, damn, bro, you don't want that as the viral clip because that's what people are going to show after the game, right? Like, no, you had 2 viral clips, your touchdowns. Now it's going to be like Shedeur loses it and, he's immature, a diva. Bad move, but I didn't see. I don't know the details yet, but I would agree with where you're going with that.
Yeah. So, and you had the lead too. You got the lead. It's not like fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. Fourth quarter, 2 minutes left. Yeah, get upset all you want, but not early third quarter when you're leading 14-7, or you got to punt the ball. No big deal. So, but we're getting some points. The extra point was good. So 7. They're clearly telling you they don't think the Falcons are going to score again by laying at 6.5 and minus 176. They have no faith in that Falcon offense from here on out. Patriots 27-3 at halftime. 22.5. Over under is 45.5. Oof.
I'm getting 23.5, 44.5, but man, that's a lot of points. That's a lot of points. I'm tempted, man, to jump in at 23.5 here. Basically, I just need to win the second half by 1 point, Scott.
Yeah. Let's see who they're going to have at quarterback, Washington. If they go back to Hartman, like the Browns went back to Shador, then maybe not. But if they put Mariota in there, then
Josh Johnson. We got to see some Josh Johnson. Mariota's not even in the city. He didn't even get on the plane.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Wow. All right, more coming up.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe making some money tonight. We gave out a winner. If you wanted to be a winner, let's put it that way. And why wouldn't you? Minnesota, 5 minutes ago, that down 1 or 2. Pick them, right? Gabe and I both said grab the links now. You got the entire fourth quarter at home against Washington. They're only up 4, but more importantly, they're minus 670. So if you grab Minnesota at Pick'em, 5 minutes ago, now you can take Washington at plus 430, hedge your bet, make sure you win enough on both sides, and you walk away a winner. I mean, I think Minnesota will win. But if you want to give me plus 430, you want to hedge just a little bit to cover your original bet. I don't have any issues with that. So that was just a bad line, Gabe. I mean, if you're going to be minus 6-1 favorite up 4, what the hell were you doing being Pick'em when you're only down 1? I mean, that's crazy. Based on that, Minnesota should be up like 8 or 9 right now, not 4 with 3:30 left. But hopefully you guys jumped on board.
Yeah, it was a strange. Minnesota are too good. There was still 6 minutes left, 5.5, 6 minutes left in the basketball game, and they have taken the lead 71-67 right now. The Cleveland Browns now up 21-7. They just scored. The Browns just scored again. 21-7. I didn't see I saw they were on the 4-yard line, so I didn't see. Let's see if it was a touchdown, another touchdown for him. Is he padding his stats here?
Let me see.
No.
Well, it may be one of those shuttle passes. It may go down as a pass, Gabe. But it was one of those wide receiver in motions behind the line of scrimmage, and I think out of the shotgun, he flipped it to him. I think. He may have
Was it sideways or backwards? Because I see 2 touchdowns still. We'll see if they update this, but he's 14-23, 138. But hey, they're going to cover the point spread, right? As 6-point underdogs, it's all that matters. Shedeur Sanders 1-0 ATS in his career.
Yeah, exactly.
The most important thing. Yeah, he's 1-0 ATS. And ironically enough, guys, Bryce Young looked good. So this is an example of what me and Scott have been talking about for all week, where it's almost like a starting pitcher. Yeah, the Panthers started their starters on offense and defense. Their defense didn't look great. They were okay, but whatever. They gave up 2 touchdowns to Shedeur Sanders in the first. One of them was a fumble. But my point was, Scott, Bryce Young was good. He was 4 for 6, couple of nice passes. He marched down the field. He scored a touchdown. McMillan, the rookie out of Arizona, looked really good. His first pro catch was a beautiful catch down the sidelines. 2 catches, 43 yards for McMillan. Bryce Young. And they're losing by 14 points. And how many people got suckered in tonight because, the starting quarterback is playing? I'm telling you guys, it's a big-time trap, that whole starting quarterback playing thing.
It's almost like you should go opposite of it. You really should. Starting quarterback plays, and then he comes out, and it's not only him, it's everybody else that comes out. At least when the backup quarterback starts, you generally get him playing with the starting unit of the offensive line and running backs and everything else, and then they'll stay in there for 3-4 series. But when the starting quarterback starts, everyone else does as well. But when he comes out, that's when everyone else comes out.
And it's rare.
All those starters are all coming out a lot earlier versus if a backup starter, as crazy as it sounds.
And a lot of the times, the starting quarterback, it's like 50-50. You know what I mean? Bryce Young scored, Burrow scored. Not all of them are going to score when they play. But best case scenario last night was Joe Burrow started. They scored 2 touchdowns when he was on the field. When he was taken out of the game, you and I remember, Scott, it was 14-7. So suddenly you're laying 6 points without Joe Burrow and a bunch of backups for the rest of the game. And that was the best case scenario, that he actually scored 14 points for you. And they still lost the game by double digits. So there's a pattern here, right? I mean, last night, same thing, Seattle, right? They covered the number. Oh, they're not starting any of their starters. They're not starting any of their starters. They covered the number. They were getting 5 on their own field. It was a 23-23 game, right? It's time and time again. And looking at tomorrow, there's a lot of starters playing tomorrow, Scott. So it's kind of one of these weird ones. Like looking at the board here, first up, New York Giants. New York Giants are playing their starters. They have a very healthy quarterback situation, Scott, for a preseason game. Russell Wilson gets a series. Jameis Winston plays. Jackson Dart plays the second half. Jackson Dart's had a good camp, right? Jackson Dart's a pretty young, good quarterback. So the Bills going to have to deal with this. The Bills are starting, Scott, their starters on defense for the most, kind of most of the starters, but not the stars. You know what I mean? But they're going to play the first quarter. Trubisky's playing the first half of the game. Trubisky's going to play the first half. Mike White will play the second half for the Buffalo Bills tomorrow. Texans aren't, and guys, tomorrow J.J. McCarthy makes his debut again. He looked good in the preseason game, and he got hurt last year. And then he got hurt in the game. He starts tomorrow, Scott. The Texans have had a bad week, bro. Gardner Johnson's out for the year. He got injured. Ward has been arrested twice, like, in the offseason now. Like, their players are getting arrested. Like, you know what I mean? Like, their guys are getting arrested. Guys are hurt. They're not playing anybody. Like, I could see the Texans, like, getting punched in the mouth tomorrow by the Vikings at home. Yeah. Like, that's sort of one. I'm like, yeah, the Vikings are going to punch these guys in the mouth tomorrow. Cowboys and Rams tomorrow. We're not going to see Dak Prescott, but we're going to see Joe Milton, Scott. And Joe Milton can ball, bro. And the Rams really don't care about the preseason. You got a new coach with Schottenheimer. Nobody ever likes taking the Cowboys in the preseason, but they're minus 130 on the money line. I'm going to be on the Cowboys tomorrow, Scott.
Yeah, me too. That's one of the angles, right? That you have in preseason. You bet on teams that have quarterback battles because the starters play a little bit longer. And another one is I bet on the new head coach because he wants to come in here and set the tone, put a new attitude in there, get the winning formula.
So Vrabel gets the win tonight?
Yeah.
Vrabel's going to get the win tonight as a new coach? Pete Carroll did not. He tied the game.
No.
So Pete Carroll did not last night. So I'm just thinking about other new coaches.
He did try. Let's put it that way. Right?
He was calling timeouts. Like he wanted to win that game. He was yelling at the ref, Scott. I was watching it like it was a regular season game.
Me too.
He like had his headset off and he's yelling and stuff like that.
Chomping on that gum. Definitely. All right, more coming up in Game Live.
We don't care where you were drafted. You outperform somebody, you're going to be on that football field. Now, again, there are extenuating circumstances where he drafted quarterback number 3 overall. Yeah, they're going to try him out for the next 3 to 4 years, even if he's not as good as anybody on that roster. But from Shadur's perspective, that's probably the case. Tyler Huntley, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of names on that list, not a lot of good names on that list, so he can earn a job on this football team.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Becoming just harder in general to do business from a money standpoint in general, let alone the competition. So yeah, Betfred closing up shop will be gone by tomorrow. We'll see if any sportsbook fills this void. It'll mean that there's a license up for grabs in Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest states for sports betting and is home to a lot of other operators. At this point, we're getting to a time when no one's rushing into the market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was that confused trying to figure out why Cameron Young isn't as good as he should be, because we've seen all the flashes. Like at some point of his career, he's been elite at something. Like he's been elite at putting this year. He's been an elite iron player. He's been an elite driver of the golf ball. So check out this chart I had to get.
We got a chart.
Look at this chart that I had to come up with.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Me and Gabe, hour number 2. Look at a little preseason football. Back to the Bills game for a second here, Gabe. I am a little surprised, with the Giants basically saying they're going to play their starters and the quarterbacks all should be getting a shot. And the quarterback room is deep, if not good, but it's certainly deep, right?
Wilson's the only
and
one that's
Buffalo's
not
playing
confirmed.
Josh Allen.
I'll just throw it out there. Wilson's the only one. Like, they're being coy. We'll see. We'll
They're
see.
being a little coy. Yeah.
But Winston and Jackson Dart is still a good combo.
Yeah. So I'm surprised they're a 3-point dog, knowing that Buffalo's not playing Josh Allen. They may play some of the other guys, but they've said they're not playing Allen as much as he wants to play, which I give him credit for. But
I see you see 3. I got you're right. It's got bounced up. You know what's crazy? It was 1 before. Buffalo was 1. Why would it go in the other direction?
Now that makes sense.
Yeah, Buffalo McDermott's good, right? We were talking, you and I talking about McDermott and the Bills in the preseason. They're good. Their backups are good, etc. So they are a good preseason team. But the Giants have something to prove this year. Dable, listen, if they didn't fire him, I don't think he's on the hot seat as much as people make it out to be, him and Joe Shane. Put it this way. If they were going to get fired, they already would have been fired. Especially Shane. After that Saquon Barkley stuff, trust me, the Eagles don't want him and all that on Hard Knocks. Like, it was a clown show. Right? So, they have like the Jackson Dart era here. You got a couple of years with Jackson Dart. You know what I mean? To turn this thing around. But the Giants camp is being taken seriously, Scott. Right? Like, they are, like, they understand there's a sense of urgency, but they're not very good. And they have like a ton of players that aren't playing in this game. So all the talk about the Bills and Josh Allen not playing, like Malik Neighbors isn't playing. Cam Scatterbo is hurt. Right, the rookie running back out there, he's not playing. Right, like they've got a lot of, like, if you look at the injury list for the Giants, I looked at it, there's like 9-11 guys not playing. So I think that's why the number bounced back up here. But I'm not in a hurry to lay 3 with the Bills personally.
Yeah. I might lay 3 with the Packers, but this goes against the new coach system. But Green Bay said that they're going to play, well, they hinted that they're going to play all 4 quarterbacks. That could be one
I heard
series,
Jordan Love is going to play, actually. Yeah. Jordan Love's going to start and play a series or 2 in this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Justin Fields and company, they are playing for the Jets. I do think Glenn wants to go in there and start winning. Like, that really is like the classic one. Going into just a moribund program. It's the Jets, right? If you don't live here in New York, they're just like, if something happens in Canada, it's the Jets' fault somehow or another. That's what the Jet kind of black cloud is, right? So I do think he wants to come in here and really win. Now, does that mean they're going to? Just ask Cincinnati. No, it doesn't. But he's got Fields starting. He said the starters were going to play some. You're going to get an honest effort out of them, but I still don't know if I can pull the trigger on them getting 3.
The one I like is the one next to it in the rotation here. Another one, Tennessee and Tampa Bay. Tennessee, similar situation. New coach, new system, new quarterback. And in fact, not only a new quarterback, the number 1 pick in the NFL draft quarterback. Cam Ward is playing. He is playing in this game. Right? They're not babying him. No, they said, no, he's going to play. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers they have a ton of injuries. Their depth chart is not very good at the quarterback position, Scott. If you look at the Bucs, do you believe in Kyle Trask is the question, which I don't. I don't. Like, he's not very good.
They had to sign Teddy Bridgewater. God bless
him.
Bingo.
Bingo. So
right?
I was going to say thank you. Yeah, Scott, Teddy Bridgewater was coaching high school a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like, and now he's going to be on the field tomorrow. God bless him. I like Teddy Bridgewater, but yeah, like, exactly. And you get Tennessee, new system, young players, fired up. The Bucs don't care. That coach in Tampa doesn't care about this. Guys won 4 division titles in a row. He didn't care about this. Like, you know what I mean? Give me the Titans tomorrow.
Yeah. Listen, I think the Titans can be the surprise team. I don't know if they're going to be Washington of last year or Houston of 2 years ago. But I do like their team total. I really do love Cam Ward. I would have been one of those teams. If Tennessee really was able to play ball, and if they would have taken 3-4 first-rounders, I would have made the deal. I just would have. I'll deal with no first-round picks for a long time. I think they got a decent chance to be a 6, 7, 8-win football team.
Hey, one thing with Tennessee, how many games last year, Scott, were the Tennessee Titans in and Will Levis threw the ball away and screwed them?
Yeah.
He was a turnover machine. Like, I'm with you. I think Cam Ward is the real deal.
All right, more talk coming up in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid.
We don't care where you were drafted. You outperform somebody, you're going to be on that football field. Now, again, there are extenuating circumstances where he drafted quarterback number 3 overall. Yeah, they're going to try him out for the next 3 to 4 years, even if he's not as good as anybody on that roster. But from Shadur's perspective, that's probably the case. Tyler Huntley, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of names on that list, not a lot of good names on that list, so he can earn a job on this football team.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's becoming just harder in general to do business from a money standpoint in general, let alone the competition. So yeah, Betfred closing up shop will be gone by tomorrow. We'll see if any sportsbook fills this void. It'll mean that there's a license up for grabs in Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest states for sports betting and is home to a lot of other operators. At this point, we're getting to a time when no one's rushing into the market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was that confused trying to figure out why Cameron Young isn't as good as he should be, because we've seen all the flashes. Like at some point of his career, he's been elite at something. Like he's been elite at putting this year. He's been an elite iron player. He's been an elite driver of the golf ball. So check out this chart I had to get.
We got a chart.
Look at this chart that I had to come up with.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got football, we got baseball, we got WNBA action. Getting it all done. There's something going on the Falcon, the Detroit Lion game. They had stopped it. They were all praying there for something. But
yeah, you know what? Good call, Scott, because I'm watching it right now live as well. I'm flicking around the game-to-game type of deal, and I'm tuning in and I see Dan Campbell, and I'm like, man, Campbell looks like really into this. And it wasn't, not into the game. He's concerned. And it's the type of deal where they're not showing the field. Like, they're only showing the sidelines. Like, they don't want to show what's going on the field. Now they're showing the guys on the field. I don't know. I don't know who got hurt, Scott. We'll try to find out here. But I think somebody on the Lions got hurt because Campbell seems pretty up. Like, he seems distraught right now.
I got to tell you, Gabe, nothing for nothing. We bring Tony Finn in here. They are running the clock. So if you're like me, sitting on the over,
what the hell are they doing? You're right. The clock is ticking. 9:50, 9:49. I see it now. Yeah, like it's talking.
You got the under. It's like keep on going there, right, Tony?
And I got the Falcons plus 3.5, and I hope whoever is hurt is okay. But it's like whoa, ref. Okay, like I'm hey, like we got to stop this clock. Like we still playing the game, right? Like.
Wow. Tony Finn joined us.
I think they got to fix this. No. I want my money back if I lose my bet. I want my money back. This isn't right. This isn't right.
They're all standing around.
They better correct this, Scott. I'm watching it too. Like you said, they're nowhere near playing, and the clock is ticking.
It's just ticking. And they're just standing there, Tony. I don't know if you had this game on or not, but it's like, is it a lightning delay or something? Like, but they wouldn't be on the field, though.
Right. It wouldn't be on the field. Additionally, if they're not showing the field or not showing what the concern is, typically after a few years of showing, the players.
I don't know if someone's hurt, Tony, to be honest.
I don't either. I don't either. I can't find out either. So
I don't know. But now I see Campbell's praying. But he's a psycho, so I don't know what he's doing. Like, who knows what? Like,
that's true.
Like Scott, he's I don't know. Who knows what he's thinking about this guy? Like,
it's pretty interesting, though.
Wow.
I don't know.
They're never short. They're never short of drama. So,
That is the weirdest thing. Unless that's just the TV clock that's wrong. and it's just rolling. But I don't, usually they superimpose the game clock when they do that, but it could be. But they're all just kind of lingering around, so it's very strange. I don't know. We'll start there, Tony.
But they're
Tony
not
Finn.
joking around either, so it's a somber scene. But they're not showing anything either. Like the Lion players seem more distraught than Atlanta. Like Atlanta are not. Atlanta are standing there, kind of not talking. But Detroit guys look distraught. But I don't know what the hell happened. And I've never seen anything like this in my life. I've been watching football for 50 years. Never seen this in my life.
Yeah. One guy tweeted Fred said Norris an injured player.
I'm what I'm hearing I just got a text, guys. Norris was injured during the play, so it is an injury. At least that's the text I got.
But what kind of injury? Like how serious? Did the scoreboard fall on his head? Like what the hell just happened?
Yeah, I know they're not showing him at all. Right?
Well, no, but at least we know it's an injury. At least that I'm assuming that's the information I'm getting.
So why is
if
the
it's
clock
an injury,
ticking?
then I'm showing. Listen, they're telling me that the clock is actually at 14:50, and that's where it will be when they resume play. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
all right. So maybe Wetzel, we're seeing some sort of countdown or something like that.
It's just crazy.
I don't know. This is strange.
You have any action, Tony? Preseason tonight?
Do I do? Yeah, I do. I have a second. I played the second half of the Commanders and Patriots game, and I played Washington minus the points.
Good call.
I like now. Yeah.
And they scored 27-11 now. They were getting 23 and a half. They scored 27-11. Good call, Tony.
They got a 2-point conversion, too, didn't they? 8 points in the second. 2-point conversion, I think, was Johnson to Martin, I believe is what I was told, because I'm not watching it. I've got everything else up. I've got tomorrow's baseball up, and that's really my focus is tomorrow's baseball.
What about the Red Sox game right now? Red Sox game going off the board now.
Yeah,
Hey guys, hold on.
Okay.
I think they just called the game. Look at this guy. They just called the game. Campbell and dude, they just like went over, spoke each other, hugged each other. It's over.
That's it.
Like the player, look at it. The players are all hugging each other right now, and it's over. I want my money back.
It's a serious injury.
Oh, yeah.
Serious injury.
That's got to be a no bet. Right, from a betting standpoint, I know
it is a no bet.
It is. Technically, guys, a football game has to go 55 minutes to be official. That was not 55 minutes.
Yeah. Wow. It's so weird that they didn't show the guy or anything. Like normally they would just show the guy lying on the field or people surrounding him or him being, wheeled off. The Bengals, with the Cincinnati Buffalo, I mean, heck, we saw that the whole thing, I mean, for 20 minutes on the Monday Night Football game. But yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
That's it.
Well, I want to bother. We're going to find out, right? The guy have a heart attack? Like I said, is this like a Hamlin thing where they're like, yeah, game's over? But some guys are sort of smiling and talking a little bit now, but so anyway, the Red Sox game's going off the board here, guys. I'm taking the Red Sox plus the 145 as an underdog, little bold contrarian play. And I'm taking Tatis to hit a home run at plus 375, and I say Tatis strikes out at least once at minus 190. Tony Finn, do you have a bet or a prediction for the Red Sox game?
The Red Sox game? Well, I think at this point in time, if you're inside the Red Sox room, a game room, a war room, you're on the Red Sox or you're not involved. I mean, they're playing pretty good baseball. They seem to be, Cora's gotten his players healthy, and they're playing with an edge and a swagger that most of us that have been around baseball for a long time have seen this Red Sox team and organization play with. I sure like the way they're playing. Let's put it that way. I'm not on the game, not in the game, but I like the Red Sox, even in Petco tonight against probably Pivetta is probably the better pitcher. Wouldn't you agree? Even at his age, over Buehler and what he's done or what he hasn't done. And you're getting a pretty good price on the Red Sox. What, $140, $139, something like that, right?
Yeah, $146 here in New York on FanDuel. So, and the Red Sox, you're right. He hasn't pitched well, Buehler, but they're 11-8 when he pitches, including 4-1 the last 5. So they do win for whatever reason.
And he's 6-1. Remember, I brought it up, and he's 6-1 with a 1.88 ERA in his life against San Diego.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument that. Oh no, well,
go ahead.
We don't have enough time in the program to talk about the Dodgers. Gabe knows. I had them yesterday. I played them pretty hard and have a 3-1 lead, and I look up, I'm down 5-3. I'm losing. And really, when you get Ohtani on the mound hitting the ball well. What did he pitch? 3 or 4 innings and had 8 strikeouts. And you don't win that game, you have that kind of a lead. It's disheartening if you're a Dodgers fan, and double disheartening if you happen to be a Dodgers fan with money on the game. So I need to learn a lesson here, guys. At least me. For right now, I need to step back and watch the Dodgers and make an unbiased and hopefully educated and smart assessment of who they are moving forward. So they sure have disappointed me a lot, and I know Gabe would probably agree that it's because of injuries. We'll give them that excuse, that reason. But for the most part, this is the Dodgers team that everybody believed was going to walk away with this division. What was the over-under on the Dodgers this year at close when
103.5
was over?
104 type of deal.
How would you like to have a mortgage on the under there? Yeah.
But how many teams in baseball have won more games than them this year? Right now.
One.
Like, it's not like they're in last place, right? People get, you know what I mean? Like, no, they haven't run away with everything, but they're not going to be judged, in what happens in the regular season, right? It's about the playoffs.
By me, they will be, of course. But by us gamers that
So what are you saying? You don't have a pick for tonight's game, Tony? That was the original question.
Here's the original question.
That was the question.
I like Boston.
Yes.
I like Boston, and the more I talk to you two, the more I may jump in on that game. I might watch the first inning or two and do some in-game live, but I like the Giants as well.
All right, we're talking with Tony Finn. We'll find out why I like San Fran when we come back. In-game live.
We don't care where you were drafted. You outperform somebody, you're going to be on that football field. Now, again, there are extenuating circumstances where he drafted quarterback number 3 overall. Yeah, they're going to try him out for the next 3 to 4 years, even if he's not as good as anybody on that roster. But from Shadur's perspective, that's probably the case. Tyler Huntley, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of names on that list, not a lot of good names on that list, so he can earn a job on this football team.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's becoming just harder in general to do business from a money standpoint in general, let alone the competition. So yeah, Betfred closing up shop will be gone by tomorrow. We'll see if any sportsbook fills this void. It'll mean that there's a license up for grabs in Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest states for sports betting and is home to a lot of other operators. At this point, we're getting to a time when no one's rushing into the market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was that confused trying to figure out why Cameron Young isn't as good as he should be, because we've seen all the flashes. Like at some point of his career, he's been elite at something. Like he's been elite at putting this year. He's been an elite iron player. He's been an elite driver of the golf ball. So check out this chart I had to get.
We got a chart.
Look at this chart that I had to come up with.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
All right, welcome back in-game live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe on a fabulous Friday. Talking some baseball, some NFL with Tony Finn, sports handicapping extraordinaire. So when we last left, Tony, you said you do have a feel on the Giants, who are hosting the Nationals, laying $160 or so, plus 134 on the Nats. Giants not playing great ball. They really haven't since they picked up my guy Rafi Devers from my Red Sox. They lost 8 straight at home, but it sounds like you like them tonight, though.
I do, yeah.
Oh, did we lose him?
I think we lost him.
I do like Gage in this situation. And I like them to bounce back. This Giants team, in certain situations.
Good. All right, so we lost Tony. We'll see if we can rehook up with Tony. So, but he likes the Giants minus the 158, 160 or so, like I said, with Wisenhunt on the hill. They've lost 8 straight. That to me is the classic, just like unbettable game for me. Giants stink. I know they're at home, but that hasn't helped matters. Washington stinks. They lost 7 of 8. No difference with the interim skipper. That hasn't helped to beat at all. I mean, it's like I guess if you had to, I'd just take the underdog just because at least I'd lose straight money on it versus laying minus 160. But all right, we got Tony back again. So Tony, you like the Giants?
I do. I like the Giants tonight. I like the situation. I like the pitching edge. I think the Giants have a pitching edge tonight. And again, they haven't played very well. And I'm going.
Oh, we lost him again. All right, so we're having some trouble with Tony. So, all right, we'll try and rehook up with him, one day next week. But he likes the Giants, so we got it. Minus 168, actually. I was looking at Saturday's line. It's 168 tonight. Irvin and Gage on the
like you said, Scott.
But again, for me,
I look at almost every game. I look at every game on the board every day. So I go through. And in every league, there's always a couple of teams or games that I don't even like click or I don't care about. I'm like, I'm not betting it, scratch it. I don't like. And that was one of them tonight. Exactly. I saw that. I'm like looking at the late board. I'm like, oh, yeah, Seattle, Tampa. Yeah, I'll get in on Seattle in the first 5 and that under. And like, oh, yeah, Dodgers, Blue Jays. And I say Nationals, Giants, pass. Like, I just scroll past. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No part of it. I don't want any part of it. It's like betting an Athletic or Kansas City Royal game or something. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, just what's my angle on this?
I was hoping we would be able to rehook up with him just to get what he thought was such a good play on it. But he does like.
He said he liked the pitching matchup.
Yeah, Gage versus who's pitching for Irvin.
Yeah.
All right. I guess
there's enough. There's enough things to bet on. We don't have to bet on every game. What's the line, Scott? They have to set a line for every game. We don't have to bet every game. And you and I bet on law. We're giving people CFL, NFL, WNBA, baseball. We don't have to bet every game though.
Yeah. Brewers came back. That was the one we gave out. All right, 2-0 against the Mets.
And the Minnesota Lynx. And the Lynx came back. So a couple of in-game winners.
Did they end up winning? Did they end up winning that game? Because I know it was they had a 2-point lead late. They did.
I think they won by
76.
That I was going to say they won by 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when's the Seattle game? Seattle game's like right now too, isn't it? Let's see.
10 minutes. Yeah, 10 o'clock.
No, it started. Boom. Tampa's on the board already early.
Oh, I thought you meant WNBA. My bad.
Yeah. So the Mariners, they're down 1-0 right now. So we're getting them at plus 100. I'm going to jump in.
That's not bad. Yeah,
they're down a run. Just because they gave up a run in the first doesn't mean they're going to lose the game, right?
Right. I'd just as soon have it that way versus laying $160, $170. Although they weren't that big of favorites, they was minus 130. But a lot of times rather than be, give me down 1 run, I'll take that in even odds versus laying a whole bunch of juice this early in the game. 7.5 is the total. I do think we get some runs in that one. So.
We saw it earlier in the week with the Rangers and the Yankees, or we like the Rangers. The Yankees scored early. I got plus 200. They were down 1-0. Then the Yankees got up 3-0, and they still ended up losing the game. So, yeah, you're right. I got no issues. And, in fact, the Dodgers have made a good bet like that, Scott. The Dodgers are often down 1-0 or 2-0 early. Like, they have the most comebacks in baseball. They're coming back less over the last couple of weeks. Over the last couple of coming back less.
They've been stuck on like 35 comeback wins for a little while now, unfortunately. Yeah. So, but
big
it's great.
Series,
Speaking of the Yankees,
big buzz.
We got some
should be a big
series
buzz
this weekend. Yeah, I mean, you think about a game, right? You got Yankees and Astros. Hate each other. Red Sox, Padres, Toronto, LA Dodgers, Phillies, Rangers, really good series. Mets, Brewers.
World Series rematch
really
from a couple of years ago. Phillies, Rangers.
Yeah. Right. So even Cubs, Cardinals, I know the Cardinals kind of stink right now, but as far as rivalry goes, that's a huge rivalry for the Cubs.
What about the Astros and Yankees game? We're tied at 2. Yeah. I'm kind of tempted by that plus 130 with the Stros in a toss-up game.
Yeah, with that Yankee bullpen being as bad as it is, and if they bring in Devin Williams, I swear I don't know if Aaron Boone will survive tonight. If he brings in Devin Williams and he blows the game, I'm telling you, here in New York, they will just go absolutely bonkers, berserk. So Weaver's on the hill right now,
especially against the Astros.
I would take a play. Oh,
Altuve, of all people, one of the most hated people in New York City, Jose Altuve, hits a 2-run shot in the first inning, and Houston doesn't score again, Scott, right? Weird game. And then the Yankees scored 2 in the 6th, and we're at 2-2. And here we are now 2-2 in the 9th.
Imagine having a team total over probably 3.5, maybe 4.5.
Oh, you're feeling good. Hey, first inning, quick 2-run shot. You're like, this is great.
In the bag.
And then you're just getting mad at the Yankees all night for not scoring, too.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, they haven't scored. They scored 2 in the 6th, but they only have 4 hits. Yankees only have 4 hits on the night tonight.
I played a little hunch on the White Sox. In fact, I played under 4.5 first 5, but that didn't work out because Aaron Savali's been pitching great. 17 plus scoreless innings in a row heading into tonight, and he got blasted. I don't think he survived the second inning. It was 5-0 in the second inning I saw. So
your Twins trend though is coming through. Twins just own the Royals, huh? It's just real. 8-2. They just scored again. 8-2.
Scored again. Wow. That's kind of.
And they got a runner on third with nobody out, and it's 8-2.
Man. In-game live game day continues here on the grid. Our college football focus. We'll take a look at that when we come back.
We don't care where you were drafted. You outperform somebody, you're going to be on that football field. Now, again, there are extenuating circumstances where he drafted quarterback number 3 overall. Yeah, they're going to try him out for the next 3 to 4 years, even if he's not as good as anybody on that roster. But from Shadur's perspective, that's probably the case. Tyler Huntley, Shadur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson. There's a lot of names on that list, not a lot of good names on that list, so he can earn a job on this football team.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
It's becoming just harder in general to do business from a money standpoint in general, let alone the competition. So yeah, Betfred closing up shop will be gone by tomorrow. We'll see if any sportsbook fills this void. It'll mean that there's a license up for grabs in Pennsylvania, which is one of the biggest states for sports betting and is home to a lot of other operators. At this point, we're getting to a time when no one's rushing into the market.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was that confused trying to figure out why Cameron Young isn't as good as he should be, because we've seen all the flashes. Like at some point of his career, he's been elite at something. Like he's been elite at putting this year. He's been an elite iron player. He's been an elite driver of the golf ball. So check out this chart I had to get.
We got a chart.
Look at this chart that I had to come up with.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid. This is the moment every fan waits for. The countdown's over. The road to kickoff has begun.
Play is here to stay.
I'm not going to name names, Kevin.
From win totals to player props, from division races to MVP debates, we've got eyes on every camp and data feeding 24/7, breaking down every angle across the league. Every pick, every edge, every line that matters. SportsGrid. Your road to kickoff starts now.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2, wrapping things up for this fabulous Friday and full week. Been picking one team, one college football team, and going over their over-unders. Let's do that before we take a look at the board one last time, Gabe. Kind of an off-the-radar team here, but I did look at it last night, and it's like, you know what? I'm surprised the number's as low as it is, and that's the UConn Huskies. Jim Moore Jr., if you remember, coaching UConn, enters year number 3, I think it is. They were 9-3 last year. They got 13 returning starters, and they posted the over-under at 7.5. And it's no juice. Over is -104, under is -118. It's a ridiculously easy schedule as well when you look at who they're playing. I mean, I don't know how they don't get to 8 wins. I really don't. They got Central Connecticut. They got Delaware. They got Ball State. They got Buffalo, Rice, UAB. A mediocre Boston College team, albeit on the road, but that's a rivalry game. UConn and BC. Syracuse early on in the season, Syracuse lost all their players from last year. FIU, Florida Atlantic. I mean, it's a who's who of nobody. Let's put it this way. Duke is probably their toughest game, and even that's at home. So 8-4 to me is certainly knowing you went 9-3 last year and you got everybody back on offense and they're putting 40 points up on the board. I really do like the over 7.5 UConn.
People think of basketball when I think UConn, but good call as far as Mora is concerned. And I always like that, Scott, when you've got a big-time coach that is a smart football guy coaching against bad teams, right? Like, I loved Lane Kiffin when he was at FAU. Like, the first year when Lane Kiffin went to FAU, I was like, Lane Kiffin's going to, kill these guys in the Sun Belt, just from a game planning perspective and schemes and stuff. And their win total was 4.5. They won 9 games or whatever, 10 games in his first year there, and he got back to the big leagues after. But Mora's doing a great job in UConn, physical football team, flying under the radar. You'd think, too, that with UConn that, and Mora, they probably just run the ball all the time, Scott, but they have an explosive offense. They put a lot of points up on the board. Yeah. In fact, last year, they set a record. They put up 415 points. It's the most ever by a UConn football team. 415 points scored on the season. Nearly 40, that's basically, they played 12 games. They scored nearly 40 points a football game. They're rebuilding their offensive line. Their quarterback is back. The defense should be better this year. And as Scott stated, very manageable schedule for this football team. It seems like everybody plays Ball State, eh, Scott? Every night, we talk about teams, they play Ball State.
Them and Delaware both. We've mentioned Ball State and Delaware about 20 times already.
It's they play Ball State. That's a win. You know what I mean? So, UConn, Ball State, they're going to beat Central Connecticut State. They're going to beat FIU. They beat UAB. Air Force, a toss-up at Buffalo. They could beat Buffalo at Buffalo. That Buffalo don't have a great home field advantage. They could beat Delaware. Duke toss-up at FAU. They're better than FAU are. They're better than Rice are. Really, Scott, the 2 games that they're really only overmatched, per se, Boston College and Syracuse. And they'll be fired up for both those games.
Right, because it's proximity. So that's not bad. And knowing they got 9 wins last year, they're an independent, so they're willing to play anybody. And so for these other schools, it's we got to play an out-of-conference game against who? UConn? Whatever, right? But for UConn,
you don't get up for it.
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
you just
and you go there, too. It's been there, forever. You go there, Scott, and it's dreary. It's always raining and drizzly. I've never seen a sunny day there at a football game. It's always just dark, dreary. The stadium sucks. You know what I mean? There's nothing to, get excited about. So you're sort of pulling in the bus and and then you're out on the field and you're like, damn, these guys are better than we thought they were going to be, right? They've got something going on there. He's he's doing a great job of that program because they were terrible, Scott, as you remember. They were 0-12. They were bad, worst team in the country, bad.
Yeah. They were good before that. Who was the head coach before that? What was his name?
Remember, they went there. They played in the Orange Bowl even. Remember, they made it to a BCS bowl game even one year.
Yeah. And then he left, and then they got just horribly bad, and then now they're back to being a halfway decent team. So, all right, 30 seconds left. Any final thoughts? Any final winners for the viewers?
Let's go with the Blue Jays Dodgers under. The numbers, it sounds crazy, but let's go under 9 with the Blue Jays and the Dodgers tonight. And let's take the Las Vegas Aces to win the basketball game. Money line.
I like them both. We're both on it, so hopefully you will be as well. We'll talk to you next week, folks.